What's up? What's up? So I had to talk about the black veteran who toasted Trump and Hedgeworth during the Veterans Day, the protests. I thought, man, respect to that brother. He talked about his tour duties, 22 years. And I like what he said. I like how he talked about how he's been disrespected on Facebook, how he's putting it on Blast Street about how they treated him coming back. When you've had family members like I've had from the Spanish War, World War I, World War II, Vietnam, desert, all that stuff, and still get treated with second class citizenship, still been lied to, still separate barracks, etc. Of course, you're gonna feel some kind of way, and you're not going to feel all that cozy about draft dodgers and people that are allowing racist views and negativity to ensue, and saying the most uh, off the cuff stuff that they can imagine. So I was very glad to see that clip of that guy speaking his mind, speaking his piece, and telling it like it is. Shout out to Willie D for having that particular clip because I watched the totality of it and I had to like jump on that because I thought, yeah, 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 you know, um, my grandfather on my father's side was in World War II with the Navy, and you see how they DEI'd all that, try to whitewash all that, try to downplay all that. I've had quite a few relatives who did Vietnam, got treated like second class citizens, had to deal with separate water fountains, separate barracks, couldn't get promotions, went to different places and got treated. And that's back when Ali refused to do a tour of Vietnam, and you people be having issue with that. I'm like, well, no, because if you treat people like that, what do you expect? You kind of gonna have situations where, and this is still a fresh issue. It's a fresh issue because when people are to serve and to protect, they've promised black people freedoms and reparations, a promise to be treated as equal citizens. They still throw the Jim Crowism, and it's something that still goes on. It's still allowed to go on. That's why you have all the bigotry and all these bigots that are here getting these positions because they don't want to have to share. And when you done your tour of duty, the man that was talking did 22 years. So you think about that. You think about that. A black veteran coming back and how they still treat him like that. That still is the rule of the law. Still the so-called norm. The sadness of it all, that um, you know, this is what you put off, this is what you're doing, you know. So, that's just really a tough pill to swallow. It's glaring, it's blaring, it's jarring. And it's something that, what you're going to do. What are you going to do? You know, how's it going to make you feel? That's the coldness of it. So, you have to have people that tell the truth about it because if you don't stop the blatant lies and the deception of the DEI and trying to downplay the significance and you're tolerating this, then you're living a lie. And the fact is it takes people to work together, not to be divisive. But that is what the agenda is. The agenda is what it is. And that's the sad, cold reality of it. So, more power to that brother for speaking facts. If you know anybody who's a veteran and especially if they black, ask them that they feel like they came back to freedom. Ask them how they really feel when they have had draft dodgers trying to speak out on stuff which they know nothing about. Congress people, situations. Ask them about the separate barracks, Jim Crowisms, the reality. Ask them. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another and shit. If you like, stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. And he let Trump and Hedgeworth let it know what's up. You need to go search that speech because that was the facts. I'm out.